Okay, welcome back to the class. So I will continue the class from Miss Christabel, and today we will learn about brand and logo design. So we start with brand names, and here we try to create a brand names that resonate your brand identity. So these are some tips how to choose the best brand names. First, it has to be timeless, so it has to be cool today and cool tomorrow. It cannot be like very cool today and then by next year it will be like, well, so boring. Just for example, like the coffee shops these days, they use some indie names such as Janji Jiwa, Lain Hati, etc. But can you imagine that exact name by 5 year? It could be sounds lame. And then second, it has to be tireless. Don't make anybody tired by just saying their names. It has to be easy to say, easy to remember. Stands for something, stands for your brand DNA. It has to make somebody understand about your brand in a second. It has to facilitate brand extension. It looks great in text and it looks great in logo for sure. And make sure also it looks great in your product. And the qualities of an effective names, it has to be meaningful. So like I said the tips before, it has to explain your brand DNA, your goal, your brand goal, and it has to be distinctive, different, stands out with the other, maybe your competitor. Future oriented, you can develop more and more with your brand. It has to be modular. You can expand your business by this name. It has to be protectable by legal, and it has to be good in visual. So how to get inspiration for names? It's easy actually. You have to you just have to be more you have to listen more, you have to read more, you have to find something new. So by then you can get inspired by a new name. You can just use a different language, maybe you can just use old language. You can be inspired by poetry, music, TV, etc. You have to be able to get the feeling, not only the looks but also the feeling. I will win. Not only looks but the feelings. Okay. So here's the examples of brands' old name and new name. And can you imagine if Google was named Backrub? What do you think of that old name? Is it easy to remember? Is it cool? Is it okay? Does it explain the business model? Just like Apple computer, and then they just rephrase it to Apple iHeartRadio from Clear Channel, come on, and then Lucky Gold Star, LG, Backrub, and then Google. Logo also acts as like a symbol, so we can easily remember, just like brand names is like your name. If it's a human, brand name is your name, and symbol or logo is the face. is your face. So the name, for name, it has to be easily remembered, and for the face, it has to be easily recognizable. How to make it easy to remember? So there are only 3 steps. The first one is by shape. Unique shape makes a faster imprint, fast to remember. Can you imagine, like for example, Apple logo? The shape of an apple makes it distinctive. They don't have to write the name of the apple, they just have to show the apple, and then everybody knows it's apple. And the second, color. For example, like Gojek or Grab. By only the color green, people already imprinted, people already remember or recognize, oh, that one is Gojek or Grab. And then the third is form, and the fourth, language, etc. So here are a few brands that we shortened by their first letters. Can you name these brands? Maybe like for 5 minutes you have to be able to name around 15 of brands here. These are the answer, and you realize that by just seeing one letter you can already recall the brand. A brand is not a logo, just like what I said. Brand is the identity. Brand name is the name. If it's like a person, here are brand. The face is the logo, and the name is the brand name. So what's a logo? From Wikipedia, logo came from Greek, from logos. It's about a graphic mark, emblem, or symbol used to aid and promote public identification and recognition. So here's more about logo. Logo itself can be divided into logo mark and logotype, just like this. So logo mark is the pictorial of the logo, but logotype is the words on the logo. And for some logos, they might not have any logo mark. It's called word mark or logotype, just like Canon. This is the logo, but you can also read the logo, readable. But there are also brands without any logotype. It's called pictorial mark, and by this only picture you can already recall the brand. This is one is Shell. They don't have to write the words, they don't have to write the brand names, but it already easily recognized. Another example like this one, MoMA, they only use logotype for their brand. Netflix, or maybe sometimes they got shortened with N. There are also letter form. They modified the letter that act as a mnemonic pattern or shape for the company name. Can you see from this Unilever logo? They included all their businesses inside their logo. For example, the palm here means for the oil, and then some of their clothing, and food products, etc., etc. You can name it by yourself. And this one for McDonald's, this one is very distinctive. Only by the letter M you can see that it is McDonald's. It's a focal point of the brand. There are also another type of logo like abstract marks, just like Adidas. It's very abstract. They might not have a certain correlation into some of their product, but they might represent meanings, but it's very abstract. And then Pepsi, it's also abstract. They didn't have the Pepsi one, it didn't look like a can, it didn't look like cola, but it's abstract. Maybe the color has some meaning, maybe the shape has some meaning. And there are also emblem marks, usually used by academic or institution. Just like or something edgy. Sometimes they use emblem to look a bit more edgy or legend-like, like Harley Davidson or Starbucks. Another types of logo is dynamic marks, like this one, like OCAD. This one, they are very creative in their visual identity. Their original logo is this, but their logo is very easy to be added some more creativity. Like this one, it could be like this, turns into like this or this or this. It's dynamic, but still based on the original logo. Another part is like this one, another example, Philadelphia Museum of Art. It might look different, but they have the same feeling. And maybe these small parts has another meanings to it. Some logo also use characters, like this one, Uncle Sam US Government, using him as a character, using it, the lion as a character. Without the lion, it might not sound like Metro Goldwyn Mayer, and Sally from Sour Sally. The personality of the character can reflect the brand. Like I said, if it's not lion, then it won't be MGM Pictures. With characters, actually, you can also it could also be dynamic, like this one. It lived from 1914, but up until 2014, it has developed to more and more modern. They changed the line, made it cleaner, but the character stays. So here's the role of the logo. It's to identify the person, product, business, or service in general. And it has to be able to transcend international boundaries because of the visual character in brand. Because sometimes people cannot spell, but they can see the visual part. So it has to be easy to transcend international boundaries. And also, logo has to provide customers with sense of assurance. So by seeing the logo, they already know the quality of the product using visual elements. And logo also may be used to stimulate the memory of the brand, so it's easy to remember the brand name without remembering the products. Because sometimes we can easy to remember something visual than textual, like this one. two unpopular donut brands. Which one you would pick to buy and why? So here's two facets of logo design. From the content itself, they have two facets, from the text representation and the graphic representation. And the style, how the text presented and how the graphic presented. And how to represent the style, how to combine this all. We can take a look back to the Gestalt theory. Remember Nirmana? Yeah, this is a flashback. I don't have to explain one by one actually. Like this one, proximity is the objects that are close to each other. So these are just lines that appears close to each other, and then just we can read IBM because of the proximity of each line. And also the other one is similarity. With object with shared visual characteristics are automatically taken to be related. So the same color and the same shape makes us realize, oh, this one is a panda. And then closure. Some elements that constructed together can be represented as one, just like this one, circles. We can see that this one is a ball because they have a closure to each other. Like this one, they have like hidden closure, a hidden arrow inside the X. And then continuity. There's a line that allow us to see from here to here. So the line is actually taking us to read from here to here. This line actually now. And multi-stability, this one is the ability of our eyes to see two different things. So this one, like this logo, Spartan Golf Club. Can you see there's two different things inside the logo? So one is the player and two is a gladiator, a Spartan helmet. Figuregram or positive negative, postneg. It's Eaton Creative. Can you see there's a letter E and then for the negative part, and the positive part is this pencil and pencil. How a logo fits into a company branding strategy. Like a clothing, a logo is a company public dress. There's another pun to it. Okay, a good logo have to has aesthetic quality, good for client, lasts for at least 10 years, and represents company tone or brand DNA. The creative brief of making a logo, you have to find this information. So before you make a logo, you have to get these 5 data. Get this data. And then go to thinking process. So do more than 10 sketches. How you implement this information into drawings, and then solidify the sketches like this one. It's okay to just sketch very raw sketch, and then you can refine it into a solidified logo. So for the next brief exercise, you have to make 5 brand names and one will be chosen, and you have to explain the philosophy of the brand and then create a creative brief A to E. From A to E, you have to explain to us. That's it. Thank you.